Okay. What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're back with another freaking video. And today, I just got back from seeing, well, you should already know because it's in the title of what I'm going to be doing. And I just got finished seeing the Challengers movie. If you haven't already seen the movie and you don't want spoilers, I wouldn't recommend watching this video because there probably will be numerous spoilers, maybe not, I don't know. When I say I just finished watching this, I'm not lying about that. Like, I'm in my pajamas on the bottom and I just kept the shirt on that I wore because I just need to come and make sure that I did this video for y'all, that I would not forget about y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and get straight into the video, and I can stop talking so that I can get into my regular sleepy clothes and I can just go to sleep. All right. So I went to see Challengers today at 7:10 p.m. April 27th is the date that I am recording the video, but it should be released, I'm thinking, by next Friday, May 3rd. So it should be released by May 3rd if I'm timing it correctly. I have like 2 videos that'll be posted before this, so you can expect those and see those before you see this one. It was released yesterday. The movie itself was released yesterday on April 26th. So like I said, if you haven't already seen it, please go check it out. I don't want to say why you should go check it out, but I would recommend that you go check it out so that you get your own grasp of the movie, and I'm not just like spewing all my information and make you either want to see it and it's not so good to you, or not want to see it and it was actually a movie that you would have enjoyed. So that's just that. So the movie itself already has a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. So that is a huge achievement for the producers of the movie, which I think when I saw the credits, I saw a producer was Zendaya. So congratulations to you, girl. And I don't want to leave out anybody. The director, Luca Guadagnino. I know I'm screwing up your name, but congratulations to you too. That is a huge achievement. Like I said, if you haven't already seen, I'm going to go ahead and give you just a little summary. And this is not a spoiler alert. This is what's actually on the website if you like Google the movie just to see like what's it about. So it says, Tashi, a tennis player turned coach, has transformed her husband from a mediocre player into a world famous Grand Slam champion. To jolt him out of his recent losing streak, she makes him play a challenger event close to the lowest level of the tournament on the Pro Tour. Tensions soon run high when he finds himself standing across the net from the once promising, now burnout Patrick, his former best friend and Tashi's former boyfriend. So that should let you know every single thing you could possibly want to know about this movie. So the way the movie is set up, so I'll just start off with just how the movie was progressed and how it was like shown to the viewers. So the way the movie was set up was that it focused on this one tennis match, and the tennis match that I described in the description is the tennis match that they focus on. You see snippets of that tennis match. This is supposed to be the final part of the movie. Like, the end goal of the movie was for it to stop at the tennis match. So whatever it was leading up to, it stops at the tennis match, and that's like the final part of the movie. The beginning part is just all throughout the whole movie, it's focused on this one tennis match, but it also wants you to give insight as to why this tennis match matters, as to why we're even where we are. So it gives like a lot of backstory and build up, and like it goes like 18 years or 13 years before to 3 years before to the day before. It just gives a bunch of backstory as to what's going on within the story itself. I really liked the way that it was shot. Like, there were certain scenes where the focus was on the tennis ball, so we were seeing whatever the tennis ball would see, or we were seeing whatever the audience was seeing. And I kind of like just the way that was set up, because it kept the story from just so bland as a regular tennis match where, you know, you just see this all the way through the like through the Terrence Mansion is kind of boring. It put focus on like the way it was shot was just so interesting, and it kept you captivated so that you weren't about to be like, forget this movie, it's kind of boring, I want to look away. For the scenes and how it was shot, I did not want to look away. I was intrigued as to what was going to happen next, how it was going to happen, how they were going to show it. I like how another thing that I'm just like highlighting is how they let us know what like time period they were in. So like I said, how it progresses from 13 years ago as to like the next day, as to like yesterday, is like how it progresses. They need to show us like how it is. So instead of just making the characters look young, show different ways as to how you can show it. And one way that I've seen that they did it is through music. Like there was so much background music that like reminded me of like the 90s, or reminded me of the 2000s. It was just all this type of music. Like I seen like Nelly and Blue Cantrell, and I'm just like, okay, you can tell that this was more so before the 2000s or right around the 2000s. It was just, I really like the way that they did that. The next thing I want to talk about is the chemistry between the three main characters. So I forgot to mention the three main characters anyway. So you know we have Zendaya, of course, but we also have the other two main characters, which is, when I say they're main characters, it was technically the three of them throughout the whole thing. You have Art Donaldson and Patrick, which are played by Mike Faist and Josh O'Connor. So those are the three main characters, and the chemistry between all three characters is great. And I'm not just talking about like them as a group, or Zendaya with one of them, or Zendaya with the other. Like even just with them together, like the two guys together, the chemistry was crazy. It's just like you didn't know who you wanted to see as an end game, and the fact that they had this little love triangle going, it played into it perfectly, because they used that type of thing to kind of like move the story forward and give viewers something to actually look forward to. Okay, so the camera died, but I was getting to the point where I was about to start talking about my closing remarks, so I'm a little annoyed, but it's okay. I'll just go ahead and give like my overall feel of the movie. So the movie was 2 hours long, but the movie didn't feel like a 2-hour movie. Like there's certain movies where I feel like it's like, God, when is this movie gonna stop? But this movie was a movie that I feel like shouldn't have an ending. And it's crazy that I say that, because the movie didn't have an ending. You know, we're not gonna get right there, because I'm gonna wait for that. So I just feel like the movie progressed so well, and it just kept me on intrigue. Like I told you, the scenery was good, everything was good, the music was good, so it just kept me invested into the movie. And I feel like if you can successfully get me to never take my eyes off the movie, or never want to take my eyes off the movie, like it's like even in the movie theater, like somebody's trying to talk to me, I'm just like, hey, this movie actually has me. Like usually I'd be like, okay, let's just chit chat a little bit, because it ain't really hitting on nothing. But this was one of the movies that I felt like was actually well thought out. It kept me invested, and it was probably because of the drama about it, because like I said, it might be the drama, might be because I love it so much, but it's okay. Another thing I want to point out with the overall movie is that the themes that this movie had. This movie doesn't have a set theme. There's not just one thing that's just like how some movies just be like, okay, don't do this, or this is gonna happen, or don't do that, or that is gonna happen. This movie has so many themes, and you can physically point out like 100 of it. You can be like, okay, the theme is envy, the theme is love, the theme is I don't know, relationship building. Like it's just so many themes in this movie that you can really pinpoint, and you can see each thing just brought to life in this one movie. And I feel like that's another thing that the director and the producer should be proud of, and the writer should be proud of doing, is because you're integrating all these things into one big film. So it's just not like you're handing over the plot to me like, oh, I can easily pinpoint how this movie is gonna go. Oh, he did this crime, he's gonna feel bad about doing it, so that he's gonna try to make up for it, and that's gonna be the movie. This movie kept me questioning every single thing about the movie. Like I was like, what's gonna happen next? What would happen next? What's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen? I never knew what to do. I literally said, what the every chance that I got to my sister. I was just like, I'm confused. Not because it wasn't good, but more so because everything I thought I knew about the movie was proven wrong. So That's one thing I can say that they did really good on. The one thing I can say that they did really bad on is the cliffhanger that they let us off on. So the movie, like I said, is drawn out between this tennis match. So if you have this last scene that you're building upon, you're telling all these stories to lead up to this one thing, you're showing clips to this one event, and then you finally get to the final part of this set, like a tennis match, like you're finally at the final set of a tennis match, and it just doesn't happen. You don't get a resolution. That's one thing I can say this movie is missing, a resolution. We don't know what happened, what's the end game. I mean, one resolution I can pinpoint is brotherhood is back. Like, because the way the movie ended, we were expecting him to get the point set, win the game, all this stuff, win the woman, but it did not happen. He, technically I can say, what, did he throw the game? Like, you really have to see this movie on your own to figure out what exactly I'm talking about. But the way the movie ended, it was more so like a tie. It ended at a tie, and I'm like, was that the whole purpose? Did you want it to be a tie to show that they're better together than constantly at each other's throats? Like, is that the one thing that you did want to make sure you emphasize, or am I just crazy? Or did you want this to be like a discussion, like, well, what's the resolution? Want us to form our own resolution? It's just so much that went into that I feel like was unnecessary, because I don't see this movie getting a 2, so there's no reason to keep our minds wondering for something more, and we're never gonna get it. I don't see this movie getting anything else, because what else do you have to really talk about? So that's the one thing I didn't really like about the movie, which is what brings me to giving it the score that I did. So we finally got to the point where I'm giving out my score. So when I'm doing these movie reviews, I take everything into account. I take the characters into account, the way it's shot, like the color, the tone, the mood, all of that. I take it into account, and I break it down, and I mash them up, and then my overall opinion, like how I actually like, if I like the movie or if I didn't, holds a lot of weight. So it's like a 5-point grade scales. So it's like a 5-point with all the characters, the tone, the mood, and then there's a 5-point if I just liked the movie or if I didn't. And I actually enjoyed this movie up until that last part. So I gave this movie a 9 out of 10. It was a 9.5 out of 10, but after I'm just sitting here just going through what I just went through at that movie theater, it went down to a 9, because Zendaya, as I said before, what the you did me wrong. But I hope you like this movie review, because I certainly needed to get this off my chest and let somebody know, and why not let my YouTube channel know, because y'all are my family, so I can feel like I can tell y'all anything. If you want me to do any more movie reviews or music reviews, or like album, TV shows, I will do that for y'all. All y'all have to do is let me know what y'all want to do. If not, I'm just gonna keep giving this content that y'all might not even want. But yeah, just let me know what y'all want. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and leave your comments down below, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.
I got hot sauce in my bag, swag.